we talked about the ceremony yesterday, but again, how do you sort of approach a night like this?
Well, we did chat about it yesterday, but it's kind of building on the legacy of a real good player for our team, and it's a chance for his family to see how important they were to the city of Calgary. So I think it'll be challenging for sure, but then you get to the point where you realize that our team is here to get 2 points, and I think our players have a really good understanding of that.
I think it was Coleman who said this is going to be a heavy week. Do you think that's a pretty apt description of what it's been like for you guys in that room?
I don't know, Eric, to be honest with you. I mean, we've been fortunate to have Guy around with us for the last 2 days, and he's made me laugh more than typically our trainers or our coaching staff does. So I'm not sure about that. He spent a lot of time in our dressing room today, and I think his message to the players has been a real good one. And I don't really know how to answer that because of the way he's been and the way we've seen things, yeah.
How important has it been for Guy to be around doing this stuff, going to the ice? So I've talked to Lanny McDonald today.
Well, like I mentioned yesterday, I think, hockey has been his family, the big part of his family for a long time with his boys. And I think probably some of the best memories that he would have been at the rink, whether when they were young kids or when they were watching Johnny in the NHL. And getting him back around the team, the environment, I think is something that probably brings a lot of joy to him and helps him when he's maybe having a tougher couple days. So, like I said, we were just happy that he was able to be around us the last couple days.
We go back to sort of the end of August through to honestly today. Like, we know the fans are going to be a big part of showing the appreciation. Has it made you appreciate the role that this organization and this team has in the community?
I've always appreciated. I think they're second to none in regards to how they handle special events, how they celebrate, different days around, our city or the calendar, whatever that may be. I think they're the best at it. They do such a great job of not only bringing to light important causes, if you will, but they find a way to do it where it's not overkill. It's really beautiful at the end of the day, and this will be nothing different.
It can be awkward to transition into asking about other things, but is there any Justin Kirkland was added to the IR. Just curious as to how long you expect him to be.
Yeah, we don't have a timeline yet. Hopefully we'll have more information here the next day or so.
Yeah. And it does look like Andrei Kuzmenko is going to be a scratch. Can you talk about his game and what maybe has led to that? Sometimes a player just needs to take a step back and catch his breath a little bit, and I think Andrei's in that category right now. So watching a game and having a little different view as to, this is what's going on and where he is a good player. Sometimes it's important for a player just to take a step back and have a chance to watch.
Certainly wasn't easy for Jacob Walker to be sent down, obviously, but the fact they went down and had a positive attitude, how much does that sort of help?
I think that's the number one thing, because if you go down and you have a terrible attitude, your game is probably going to go the other direction in a hurry. But both of those guys went down with the right mindset, and I think that's a big reason why they both had great starts to the year with the Wranglers, and there's a reason why they were the two guys that were called up now. So I think a lot of that credit goes to the way they handled themselves and the attitude and maturity they showed.
Walker in particular, I think he's 4 goals off his AHL season career best, right? What do you see? What have you seen in his game so far this year? What are you hoping to see out of him tonight?
The speed. We all know he skates very well for a big man, and he's using it to his advantage right now, or he has been in the American League, where he's been direct and he's going to the net a lot. And because he's going to the net a lot, the puck is around, and he's found it. So that's all we're expecting out of him tonight, is to play a very direct, straight-line game. His speed can have a real impact in the game and can really help push our team forward the way we need to play. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do for us tonight.
Ryan, your team's won 5 in a row inside of Scotiabank Saddledome. Has the group played differently at home than on the road?
There's been stretches where there's been different things that have hurt our team on the road. Discipline, there's different factors of discipline, and I think on different nights we've seen some things that have hurt us. So I feel like we beat ourselves a little bit more on the road than we have at home, obviously. Penalties is one. Sometimes the plays or the risk that you take at certain times of the game. We've got ourselves into some problems on the road, and at home we've been much more consistent with that. So you don't want to ever play different wherever you are, but I have seen a few things.
Brian, Rasmus Andersson said he hasn't played for Sweden since the under-18s. He hasn't played at a Worlds or World Junior, but he's having a great season.
Yeah.
He might be named to that team tomorrow. Just give me a thought on his play so far this year and what has kind of elevated his game.
I don't know what's elevated it. I think maybe more responsibility that's been put on him. Like we talked about moving some people out last year, where now, he and Mackenzie are two guys on the back end that we lean on in all situations. And I think when you are a player and that's the way your staff looks at you, you feel good about yourself. So I think there's value that's been there. But he's been consistent with the way he's played too. So he's playing against top players. He plays both sides of special team for us. He's been very consistent with what he's done. And I do think he's really enjoying coming to the rink right now, which helps.
On that front, like even with Mackenzie, we've talked about him possibly on Team Canada. And when you've seen his growth the past year or so here?
The second half of last year, I really think Mackenzie's game started to come along, and he's been the same for me this year. I mean, there haven't been many nights where you could look at Mackenzie or Rass and been like, oh, he wasn't very good tonight. They've both been consistent, and Mackenzie, I think, has picked up where he left off last year, and he's carried on this year.
You saw the Blue Jackets last Friday. They've got a 6-game point streak and are playing their best hockey. What are you seeing from them right now?
They've got a real good transition game is one thing, and they're scoring a lot of goals. I think that's the one thing that over their last 6 games in particular, I think they're about 5.5 goals a game, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it. So they're feeling really good on the offensive side of it, and we have to make sure we're prepared and ready for that.